Well, here we are, hanging with my pals. What a great world to be in. Anytime we're lonely, we just get on YouTube and say, hey, I'm lonely. You want to hang out? Oops, I got to change the lighting. It's causing a reflection on my. Can everybody hear me okay? Yes. By the way, these pajama, look at this. Look at this. Look at this robe. This is like the most expensive robe I could find. This is like, I decided to do something nice for myself and bought a really expensive robe. This light is driving me nuts. Hold on. Might be making it worse. Oh, shoot. I'll do it this way. There we go. That's better. You can see my new bedroom. This is the new bedroom. So you guys, I'm kind of freaking out. I want to go back and look at the old remotes we did from a couple years ago, because the thing that's freaking me out is, do you remember the remote viewing about Michael Cohen telling Ivanka Trump to tell them everything in the deposition? Am I the only remote viewer who's like freaking out? Like, could we have I guess my question to the group is, can you follow the energy? I guess the metaphysical question is, because that time has arrived, is, can you follow the energy to its, does it take can you see 3 years in advance? I guess that's the metaphysical question. There are so many causes that go into, I guess that's nothing changed. I guess that's the confusion for me. Nothing changed, other than the fact that they delayed the karma. Now he's talking about he's going to cost them Florida if they don't give him what he wants. Does everybody know about that? Did everybody kind of figure that out on their own, right? These are tonight's remotes. Let me go ahead and say hi to people before we get started with our excuse for me to lie in bed and hang out with you. First off, how's the sound? Is everybody hearing me okay? People do not fundamentally change. I changed, Bugs Bunny. I'm a very, very, plant medicine changed me. It made me a better person. So yeah, let's say hi to everybody. Hi, Malamir. Hi, MTM. Tess Sam, hello. Marjorie Harrison, hello. Aggravated progressive. Don't be aggravated. We're winning. Hello, Catherine Rodriguez. Hi, Kate Hodges. Hi, Cameron. Hi, Sandra Von Bush. Benite Zivit. Michael Mark. Hey, so many nice people. Marjorie Harrison, Terry Solaris, Denise Ryarley in the house, working as our nighttime moderator. Deb Whitley, hello. Carter Mancy Mesquite. Denise is, thank you very much for helping tonight. Pierre Walker, thanks for coming in late. Michelle Taylor, my God, are you doing long hours? So I guess my core hasn't changed. If you loved me before, you'll love me now. If you hated me before, you'll hate me now, right? That fundamental core part of who we are. So I want to go back and I want to look at I want to go back and I want to look at the remotes from a couple of years ago, because what it said was that Trump would resign 9 months prior to the end of the election. He would negotiate a pardon from Pence. He would also negotiate a pardon for his kids. It also, in the remote we did with Ivanka Trump and Michael Cohen seemed to be suggesting in that remote that Ivanka Trump should admit to everything because the feds already had everything. Do y'all remember that? Some of you that have been around for a couple of years. Hmm. Who is their star witness? You remember that, Michelle? So what happened was we went into a remote. Some people were asking some really good questions. One of the questions that they asked was, does a person know when you're a remote viewer? I refuse to get tested to find out if I'm allergic to Mila, which is one of the things they suggested. But every time she's around, my sinuses start running. And so I have a feeling she might be part of it. But anyway, if the remote is true, then if we go back to that remote, because we can kind of try and figure this out together. So the raid on Michael Cohen, does everybody remember a couple years back that Michael Cohen was raided? And so I was asked by the group if I could go in and do a remote. And when we got into the remote, Michael Cohen was praying and he was confessing and he was promising that if God showed him mercy, he would repent, et cetera, et cetera. And then, being a nice Jewish girl who's a remote viewer, I came back and told everybody everything, which is what you're supposed to do. You be as precise as possible, as clear as possible with what you see. So with no emotion and no attachment at all. So we break all the rules though, because the channel dynamic has changed. The olden days when I had this channel, Nancy, if you're a homeopath, a lot of homeopaths are thrilled about Pfizer. Pfizer's vaccine is like homeopathic. It's frozen. There's no preservative. It's just like the homeopathic, which makes sense because the Germans, Hahnemann came from Germany. So I thought the homeopaths would think that was cool. Anyway, so in that remote, what happened was we saw the raid. But we also saw that a phone call had come in to Cohen's offices, and Michael Cohen had been told to destroy the documents. This is what came out in the remote. The FBI had tapped Cohen's phone, and they had intercepted the call that the documents were going to be destroyed. So then the FBI got an emergency search warrant. They went in, they took everything that Michael Cohen had. Now, when I got into the energy of Michael Cohen, there was a lot of material there. So when I locked on the target and I followed the target to what he was praying about, that caused me to go into another target or another subject, which was Ivanka, and a conversation he had had with Ivanka. And in the conversation with Ivanka, he said that he suggested that she cooperate with the feds because they already had everything. Does everybody remember all of that? Does everybody remember when Michael Cohen said that he was working on ongoing criminal investigations with the feds during his hearing in front of the Senate, the House? I think it was the Senate. So those ongoing criminal investigations mostly had to do with tax fraud. Tax schemes, remember that? And inflating prices, do you remember that? Okay. You see how that goes back to Ivanka? Remember how in the remote, Michael Cohen showed us Ivanka Trump's signature and the signature of the children? Y'all remember that? Then do you remember we saw her in a deposition? And in the deposition, Michael Cohen said, cooperate. Okay, so we're there. So the metaphysical question, and I don't have the answer, by the way, because I don't have the answer. Is this just a coincidence that Whimsy created in her head because she's a fanciful child and she's smart and she reads up on a lot of stuff, and so she just followed it to its most likely conclusion based on fancy and whimsy and putting the logical pieces together? Or is there something to following the energy where if people stay on can we go through the rabbit hole if we use these kind of meditative techniques, or is it just fancy and sometimes you get it right? What do you think? See, I agree, Cameron. It's I think it's both. See, I think it's both because I'll tell you why I think it's both. Because when I went into the energy, when I do a remote, I'm not consciously aware in the remote that I'm doing anything other than observing. I got it right. Oh, did you hear somebody? There's rumors that. Did you guys hear about this? Robert Mueller is back at the Justice Department. Something about him coming back, or was seen there, or headed back there. So we're going to be seeing Robert Mueller again. Sing my song again. So you want this song, right? Tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock. Sooner or later you're gonna be mine. Tick, tock. Sooner or later you're gonna be fine. Because I always get my man. So do you think that that's why Robert Mueller has been wandering around, seen in Justice Department a couple days ago? More is going to be coming out about that, so stay tuned. What do you think that's about? What do you think happened with Barr? Remember when we did a remote a couple months ago? There would be an incident that was coming up where Trump had gone too far and that Barr couldn't protect him. God, can you believe how crazy this whole thing is? All right, so the next remote has to do with the world. Looks like Russia is having a really serious, when I went into, the first thing I noticed, when I went into Russia, they're having such a serious economic collapse. I think it will, you're having, oh, very nice, John. Anyway, yeah, so what happened when I went in, the first place I landed was actually Russia when I was scanning. Eastern Europe is really, their infrastructure is collapsing because of COVID. I don't know how much of this is coming out publicly, if anybody in Europe, I'm not aware of getting much information about it here in the United States, but when I went in tonight, that area, it's bad. And this could lead to a serious economic collapse in Eastern Europe and Russia. It's very serious. So wanting to destroy America or going off to conquer the world, they just need to deal with their immediate problems, because their economy is too delicate for all of this. So that's a problem. We could see another complete economic collapse of Russia under COVID due to mismanagement again. The second remote I focused on was the treaty, or the relationship between the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, and Israel. And this is kind of interesting. One of the agreements that hasn't been talked about too much had to do with Israel wanting security and assurance from the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia that they would monitor bank accounts and money transactions, cryptocurrency, etc., that was being smuggled to terrorists. So part of what this agreement did is it appears to be an assurance that they would basically bankrupt the terrorists that were involved in terrorism, like in Gaza, Lebanon, Syria, etc. So what they're trying to do is cut off the pipeline of money, people that are sympathetic to the cause, quote unquote. And so that leaves only, if they can get a united Gulf states to stop funding it, what happens is that the proxy armies dry out because they're no longer being economically funded. So you have proxy armies in Yemen, proxy armies, Lebanon, Gaza, etc. So in this remote, that looked like that was what they were doing, is trying to just shut down the money streams. Yeah, so and then in exchange for that, it just meant more sales and more business flights. It would be an economic boom for all those areas. There'd be flights back and forth business-wise between Saudi Arabia, Israel, the United Arab Emirates. So it actually works out to be a stabilizing force in the Middle East, and most people agree that it's in some ways it's good. The issue of the Palestinians didn't come up because the Palestinians didn't come to the table. They weren't invited to the table, so that was the issue. But in terms of the relationship with Israel, or the United States, Israel, Saudi Arabia, etc., it was good in the sense of controlling for weapons smuggling, etc. It's kind of interesting also because this closes off Iran so that Iran is kind of off by herself and she's seeking aid with China. And that goes back to the trade routes that we kept seeing a couple years ago. That's what we're seeing is starting to express itself, is that all these countries are fighting to open up new trade, new deals, and specifically into areas of Africa. That's why we're starting to see instability in parts of Africa, China moving in, building new trade routes, Iran also trying to move into new areas. Was interesting also, the last remote was Brazil. It looks like there could be international trial against, what's his name, Bolsonaro? How do you say his name? Yeah, he could face war crimes. I don't know what this is about, but it looks like when you follow the energy over him in Brazil, he's possibly going to prison. Are your notes as nice as mine? Anyway, that's tonight's remotes. Slumber party remotes. Oh. This is great. Working from my bed. Hi, Hope Hope. All right, let's do it. Let's do some blitzes, people. Oh, thank you. It's quite expensive. It's like $200. I bought no clothes this year. None. Nothing. Maybe socks. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to do something nice for myself, something I would never do, and I would never do something like this. Put some frozen berries in my lemonade that I made. All right. I want to call on white light protection for myself and my viewers as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and good angels to be with us. Give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, for the planet, for the people we love, but also to help those we have strife with. And together we say, Amen. Amen, everyone. We did LC, we did the remotes. I should probably get into the chair, but I should probably sit up. Whew. All right. So the first thing is, I wanted to just say, is everybody taking good care of themselves during COVID? Is everybody being extra careful? Nobody's going out. Nobody's putting themselves at risk. Yeah, thank you. Does everybody have enough food? I'm watching, what I really love? In the wintertime, I try to see how frugal I can become. It's just kind of like a game. I live like a I live like a nun, in a hermitage in the winter. Like it's I enjoy it like a Carmelite. Simple vegetarian food, and I meditate a lot. Oh dear, Michelle. Well, I have broke aristocrats for people who are broke, but there's this Phyllis something and her son. She passed away, but she has a frugal channel. Boy, it's really nice. I love Slumber Party Tarot. Everybody hangs out. Everybody has snacks. I ate all my chocolate. Oh, good, Tammy. Phyllis Stokes and son. Wonderful. She shows you how to make a pinto beans. I started craving simple pinto beans after that. I love food. All right. So I'm going to look at the White House, not just Trump, but the entire White House situation. What does Trump want? I think what he wants is he's going to sabotage Georgia if they don't give him what he wants. I want the presidency. If you don't give me the presidency, I'm going to cost you Georgia. I'm going to tell Republicans not to vote. Here's COVID. Ball of confusion. Look at Seven of Cups. I think it's like the Republicans, I can't believe how spineless they are. Can you believe that they're actually not saying anything? Isn't that weird? Yeah, so it's like, so remember what do you think? Do you think he's going to try and negotiate a pardon? Give me my pardon or I won't leave. Give my pardon or I'll cause civil war. But look, COVID over the White House, confusion. It's almost as if they think um, when he got sick, it's like when he became sick, he got even more mentally crazy. Biden. I think he could leave early. Does anybody know about this rumor that he said he's not going to go to the inauguration? Nancy Pelosi is going to Yeah, she died in January. Oh God, she was such a cool woman. So what's going to happen? It looks like basically what the remote is saying is that Nancy Pelosi has had it with Donald Trump, and Trump is going to try and be psychotic and psychopathic and vicious, even to the point of letting people die during COVID, etc. Oh, I'm not set up for this. I'm showing you cards in my bed with my chocolate. Here's the fourth house. This is Nancy Pelosi, inverted Queen of Wands. Somebody has really reached her limit here. This is the sixth house, psychopath. The psychopath. She's responding to the psychopath. So what you're going to start seeing in the next couple of days is you're really going to start seeing Nancy really getting angry. I don't know about you folks, but the last couple of days, I am really starting to stick up for myself. I had a situation happen where somebody misrepresented me to somebody, and then this person who I barely knew, this happened a while ago. They sent me a hostile Facebook message. It was after my divorce. And being a lady, I just said, "Oh, I'm sorry you feel that way." But I never forgot it. I didn't forget it for like 3, 4 years. And then 3, 4 years later, when I was really feeling strong and recovered from the pain of divorce, I went inverted Queen of Wands on this woman. I sent this person a letter letting them know exactly what I thought. So that's inverted Queen of Wands is the righteous anger when someone has crossed the line with you. When someone has been inappropriate. It's the person, that rage you're starting to feel, like I'm really starting to feel it because of the situation. We're really going to see it expressed right now with, Nancy Pelosi. Oh, good for you, Jan Brack. Good. Oh, thank you. I didn't use my clothing budget this year, so I got to treat myself. And since somebody said, "I hope you have the money to buy a nice robe," I'm like, yeah, actually, I do. Good point. Thank you. Yeah, she's an Aries, but look at this. Trump is really he's uh he's in a full-blown temper tantrum. It's really kind of dangerous because that's psychopath energy. So this is getting interesting. We get our wish, he's leaving. God, how embarrassing. Don't you think that whole thing when he was sitting at the desk and they're like, "Are you leaving? Are you leaving? When are you leaving? When are you leaving? Are you going to leave soon?" It's like, oh my God. He lost the ring. Hi, Mila. No, you may not. You may not do that. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hi. What you up to? Hmm? So Hi, Mila. Final outcome is he's leaving. But they're going to have to do a deal. They're going to make a deal with Trump. They're going to try and negotiate a pardon to get him to leave. This goes back to the vision of Lindsey Graham asking him to resign, asking him to take the deal. Here's the deal with the flim flam man, offering him something. A contract, a deal with the devil to get him to leave. He doesn't want to leave. You can't get until he gets what he wants. So the Republicans are secretly working on a deal to get him to leave. Because if he doesn't get what he wants, he's having a temper tantrum. At the same time, the Republicans are trying to get him to fulfill his responsibilities to the Republican Party since he's the head of the Republican Party. You know, pardon the turkey, you know, do your job. My concern with this, if you go through this is for the readers. 7th house, he gets his wish clarification. He doesn't want to take the deal. Here they are, creating a deal. Here's the offer. The hope and the fear, mercy for the flim flam man. There's a pardon probably for, I want a pardon and my kids have a pardon and I want me. To get him to go, there's the devil. Transition, they make a deal. It's not what people want, but you know, they created this monster. It goes back to who has to kill the beast. Mitch McConnell has to, everybody keeps saying, do it, Mitch, do it. Remember this from a couple years ago? He's the frightened knight. Do it. Do it, do it, do it. Chop the head off the beast. We have come to that point. We have come to the point where Lindsey Graham is sitting there saying, let's negotiate something. Right? Lindsey Graham is turning. I said, wait for it. Follow the energy. So nobody changed, nobody learned, nobody repented, nobody evolved. Everything stayed exactly the same. The only thing that Ivanka Trump wound up in the same deposition, whining that she's a victim, just like her father. And the signatures were all there, and nothing changed. Nobody grew, nobody learned. None of the karma of anything that we documented 3 years ago changed in any way. Now, some would call that a personality disorder. I think people can change. I don't think it's easy. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and find out what the deal is with these pardons, because it looks like Bill Barr just fed him to the wolves. Yeah, and actually it's not just the United States that warp speed, the EU as well. You know, everybody paid Pfizer, everybody gave money, not just the United States, not just Trump. It's not even an American company, it's a German company. I mean, get a grip, buddy. I do think in some ways, um, Bill Barr does think he created a monster. Complete confusion. He inherited this. He created this. You know, it's like Trump is Bill Barr's monster, Frankenstein's monster. He's feeling threatened because the monster is out of control. 901s. Well, Madeira, unfortunately, it's not as clean as Pfizer, but it's probably pretty good. Look at this. He created this, right? He put himself, right? Red tape, in knots, up against the wall, completely confused about the situation that he inherited. By the way, it's inverted, so he's trying to get away from this, but meanwhile, he can't get away. He put himself, remember, Eight of Swords, you put yourself there. So he's going to get rescued somehow. I think there's something's coming in that's going to transform the situation. A star's coming in. Oh, it's with the Biden administration. Biden's already helping. The final outcome is betrayal, the trickster. Seven of Wands, defending his territory, what's around him, the Justice Department, the hopes and fears, trick. I think that I think that it goes back to who was Bill Barr working for? Because, well, this is the trickster, and that's the outcome. I'll do a clarification if people want. So if Susan Bullock, if you got the Pfizer, then you're fine. Pfizer, it's like homeopathy. It's nothing. It's like treats like in homeopathy. It's like treats like. It's water and. But it's not stable because they didn't put any preservative in it. That's the problem. There's this feeling like we're going to celebrate like he's gone, But I do feel this will blow up in his face. I do think that Barr is going to have to pay for this, in the sense that it's like he encouraged this. And so, in a sense, Barr is greatly responsible for this problem. So, that's kind of a nightmare, right? You create something, and then the very thing that you created is the hell you can't get away from. Ay, ay, ay. It's a lot of people hanging with us, 766 people. Well, it's interesting. That's a good point. Brian Kemp, they're now calling for him to be, I mean, th this is the insanity. I remember, the night that they elected him at the GOP, convention, and I thinking, "Oh, thank you, Susan. It's a very sweet thing to say." And I remember thinking, "They're gonna really regret this." I'm really worried for the next couple months, so I really hope everyone's taking good care of themselves. Be about your business. Live simply and frugally. Learn to cook, the Carmelite diet, Carmelite nuns. Beans and rice and vegetables. And just live a simple life. Meditate. We're having a slumber party, Miss Sharon, and we're talking about that sounds good. You know what? Guess what I had for dinner tonight? Pancakes. I was doing a reading for somebody, and one of their ancestors showed up and started cooking pancakes. And I was like, "Man, your mom, she's a really good cook." It's like I came out of session and started making pancake I just was like I think actually I did that reading yesterday, and then today I finally had a chance to make them. 'em. I'm like, "Pancakes." I love pancakes. I love pancakes too, Sandra. It's such a rare treat to have them at night, but that's something I learned when I was in Israel, is that sometimes late at night they'll make breakfast, and I really enjoy it. And then you sleep in. Has everybody seen The Raccoon Whisperer? Oh, yeah, be sure and share, like, subscribe, and click the bell notification. I know. That's why I'm like, "Everybody, please take care of yourselves. Do not go out if you don't have to." What about amino acid supplements? Um, If you're a vegan and you're worried about amino acids, then I would do a protein powder shake that's been pumped up with branch chain amino acids, which can help with maintaining muscle. I have a protein shake every morning. But I'm an ovo-lacto vegetarian. I'm not a vegan. Yeah, James Blackwood. But you know, I've been a vegetarian going on almost a year now. Meat is looking really kind of weird to me. Like, it doesn't look like food. It kind of weirds me out a little bit. But roasted chicken looks delicious still. I eat eggs. I eat milk. I eat a lot of Italian food. All right. I'm going to see if Kushner gets, we'll just check out Kushner and see if he's going to get a, what will happen with, oh, you know, we should do Ivanka. Should we do Ivanka first? What's going to happen to Ivanka? Let's do it. What's going to happen to Miss Ivanka? What? The remote doesn't freak me out so much as the fact that nothing changed. You know, Cameron, it's not, I mean, getting it right is really, really cool. You're right. But even more bizarre is that nothing changed. Everybody did exactly 3 years later. Isn't that weird? I think that's very strange. Oh, she's terrified. She's really, really terrified. Um, devil in her third house, what she's sitting in. I mean, this cannot be good. She's hoping that the Biden administration, she's actually hoping for a little bit of mercy, I think, because her final outcome is the Six of Pentacles. Thank you, Misty. What does that blue say? Oh, peace. Hold on, I want to just read. That's the eye? Sneak peek. Oh, okay. Thank you. It's very sweet of you. Oh, thank you, adventurous spirit. That's very nice. See, the final outcome for Ivanka is the Six of Pentacles, which is to show grace. What's over her, something about refusing to examine something regarding the family. This feels to me, because the Devil card is in the third house for Ivanka, like she's really scared. She's in trouble. You know what? She's going to have to turn state's witness, because what's going to happen to her is that this deposition is going to be handed over as evidence for future investigation. I mean, I can tell you what this is saying. So basically what happens to Ivanka based on this energy is that once they get her in the deposition, they then begin asking her questions about other cases that other things that are going on that she doesn't know anything or other documents that she signed, because you can see what happens here is they're willing to show her mercy so long as she cooperates with an ongoing investigation. They're showing her documents. Did you sign this? Do you know what this is? Did you know what you meant when you signed this? Thank you very much, Mindset. So the weird thing about all this is, and then they're talking about Robert Mueller is going to be coming back in the next couple of weeks. So, God, you'd think that guy'd want to retire. It makes you wonder what the hell was going on with Barr. It's like, was Barr only going to agree to slow this down? Like, now I'm confused. Don't you? Is everybody starting to get confused about Barr? Like, what the heck? You know, Jay, I think you got a good point. I mean, like, this is what she said. She's chained to a relationship, right? Petrified, sits in the third house. She's trying to get to a smoother situation with her family, rocky. Thank you, Mindset Lorraine. If I haven't said thank you yet, with much gratitude to you. Oh my God, I had a vision of, before I forget, I had a vision of Melania. She's getting a divorce. I got to get more, journals. Melania's getting a divorce and she's writing a book. Yeah, Melania Trump's getting a divorce. And she's going to marry another man. And ooh, is he rich? She's marrying another businessman who's really rich. He's really rich, not like Donald. And I'll bet you 10-1 Oprah snags the first interview. Anyway, so yeah, I think she's going to make a deal. Because once they get her in there, it opens the way to more investigations. Also, her deposition can then be used for future investigations, so they can then hand whatever she said. So she's basically opened a rabbit hole. She's not going anywhere. Then you have Archangel Michael coming in, which is a sword of truth. The sword of truth is in her 7th house. She will have to tell the truth. She's screwed. The truth is that she engaged in tax fraud. I would be very scared if I were her, because Archangel Michael is the card of truth. It's the sword of truth, and it sits in her 7th house, which means that she can't lie. Which brings it to the inevitable conclusion that she will have to make a deal with some ongoing investigations. What do you guys think? She'll probably get house arrest because she has children. She'll probably have to wear an ankle bracelet. with those types of cards. That's what I'm predicting. I don't know if she'll actually go to prison. She might go to prison and do partial time at home if she cuts a deal. Thank you, Christopher. Very kind of you. I'm just going to check. This is the kind of a deal where she might get what Cohen got, which was partial time in prison and then partial time at home. If she turns on her dad, which is what it's looking like is going to happen, that would also explain why there's rumors that Mueller is coming back. Yeah, I think she's going to turn state's evidence. She was foolish. This is Trump's worst nightmare, is Ivanka testifying against him. What a nightmare for him. Thief attempted to get away with it. She's really angry. You know, I'm seeing a lot of anger, a lot of people bringing up anger. Ooh, something is over. The scary thing about all of this is that a lot of people are just have been told to not return Donald Trump's phone calls. So like the GOP, rather than disagreeing with him publicly, they've just been given he's being ghosted. He's being ghosted by the Republican Party. Oh, Jan, that's very silly. That's what a vaccine is. Well, a green vaccine anyway. It's the same thing. Like treats like. Who was the one? Was it Linda, I think, right? Linda had said that there was going to be a woman that takes Trump down. I think it's going to be Ivanka based on these cards. Yes, Mueller's coming back, but actually he was supposedly at the Justice Department recently, or he's coming back soon. It could be because he was responsible for the raid on Cohen and he was the one that handed over documents for this investigation, that's one of the reasons why during the deposition he was asked to come back. I think right, or it might have something to do with the pardons. I suspect it has something to do with the fact that Mueller uncovered something, and then because they uncovered it, it might have something to do with some of these investigations that are happening now, and that would explain why he's coming back. Yeah, right, something like that. Because Rachel, because they got a lot in the Cohen raid. Yeah, Mueller's doing a lot better. He was exhausted, but he had a lot of time to rest. I did a remote on him. I think he needs shoulder surgery. I had like frozen shoulder when I went into that remote. Okay, we're going to look at the pardons and try and find out what this pardon deal was. Because they may have completely stripped Trump of all of his pardon powers. If this is going on, it could explain why He did that one pardon of Flynn, and then this got released, and then the pardoning stopped. I think that it's not going to happen because state rights are going to knock it down or something. They say it's probably not going to be implemented. I think it was. I think that it looks like almost like mob tricksters, fraudsters, people who juggled money, going before the courts. Look at that, an inverted Queen of Swords, and it's a question about justice, and then a moon, confusion. I think Trump is going to have a real hard time doing any more pardons because of what Barr did. What Barr did was he showed that Trump possibly was taking bribes. And if he did that, it could muddy the waters for future pardon power. And it could become part of the presidential criminal probe that's going to be happening, because of the base of the matter is that there was trickster and money. Then the courts come in. Complete confusion. Here's the theft attempt, 7th house. Yeah, I think he tried to, I think he was trying to do something illegal, and I think that Trump threw him under the bus. I have a vision of Flynn being driven off the road in a ditch. I can look at Lindsey Graham. Flynn's going to be haunted. They all are. Wow, 925 people. This is great. I'll never be alone again. I can just put on the computer and play with my cards, and I got 900 people to hang out with. Slumber party to row. It's awesome. Lindsey Graham. What is going on with Lady Lindsey? Lindsey Graham. I don't know. Russia is collapsing economically. What a nightmare. The whole of Eastern Europe is doing badly. They're not controlling their COVID at all. What are we looking at? Lindsey Graham. Thank you. Well, they're going to do an investigation, and that you can vote to be. They can vote in the Senate to have him expelled. I think that's how it works. Is it a simple majority? Does anybody know how it works? I think he could be asked to leave the Senate. Something about the courts not favoring him and him leaving. So he has no future in the Senate. It goes back to the remote where he's asking the president to leave. I think they're both finished. Nothing changed. Everybody became horrible. Everybody was horrible, and everybody stayed horrible. There are so many. It's falling apart for Lindsey Graham. Not only is Lindsey Graham in trouble with this, but there are future allegations against other things he did. And it's collapsing for Lindsey Graham because there's an expose coming out for Lindsey Graham that's going to show multiple crimes. And it's over for him, c'est la vie. This is only the beginning for him. The party's over. Geez, what a sad ending. It will end very soon for Lindsey Graham. Pulled double aces inverted. Ace of cups, his offers rescinded, and ace of spades, he lost the war. What do you think? Ugh. Let me get my drink. Any surprises? All right. Where should we go? I kind of want to sit up. All right. Back in the saddle. Well, this is fun. Was anybody surprised by that? What a nightmare. What a horrible ending for Lindsey Graham, huh? Makes you wonder what his parents did to him. He's a wounded soldier, as they say. He's a very wounded soldier. Oh, my chair was up too high. Now it's normal. Hello, everyone. All right, now we're back at the office. See how simple it is for me to go to work? All right. Where else is everybody sending me? This is Slumber Party Tarot. It's an excuse for Whimsy not to have to get dressed. We're switching cards. He did lose his way. Oh yeah, we never did get to Jared. I love this chair. I got it on Wayfair. Just get the rocking office chair. It's like $89 or something. All right, Jared. There is this feeling that Jared should be given a pardon because of the work he did in the Middle East. You can see the Knight of Wands moving in. He goes on a journey. That's this completing this assignment or this contract. However, he has again put himself in a situation. There's also a block or something going on. That's causing delays in some of what he's trying to do and a rejection of an offer. So part of what Kushner is trying to do could be delayed. They're in trouble. The Kushners are in trouble. You can see here, very worried for his wife. Look at her. Look at their situation. 5 of Pentacles. They're caught. Now, Abby Lowe, who's Kushner's lawyer, is one of the people that's under investigation for one of these things. So that's not good. And then you've got the 4 of Swords as the outcome in the grave. So, it's a very tragic energy, the Kushners. It's almost like, I always think about the medieval couples that were attempting to overthrow the king, and then they wound up in the Tower of London, and they were locked in the tower, and they were, this couple is then locked together in this destiny. They get taken away, and then they are locked in the tower, terrified, facing their fate. And they're being told, they're up against the wall, take the deal, take the deal. Yeah, Mueller's back. What'd you think? I was leaving? He was just eating his turkey sandwich. He was just, he had no intention to leave. Night, Susan. Oh my gosh, some people's children. Holy heck. What time it is. Kind of getting hungry. I want a midnight snack. I ate all my chocolate. Oh no, I didn't. What am I talking about? I've got fudge in the freezer. Thank you, Mark Rhodes. Oh, Hope Hicks. God, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if she was a spy. Pretzels, yummy. Yeah. A lot of angry people. Angry, unhappy people. Ooh, Swiss cheese. That sounds good too. Those are getting me hungry again. I eat at night. My stomach wakes up at night. Oh, hi, Johnny. Johnny, do you want to do a collab with me? I sent you another email. You never write me back. I want to do a collab with him. I want to do a collab with Sheila. I want to do a collab with Lena, but I have to wait for that. No, I don't think so. If worse came to worse, Jared's parents would take the children. But yeah, I mean, I want to go and fish out the old diaries in a couple of days so that we can all go over everything. But that was the thing that I thought when I meditated tonight was, oh my God, nothing changed. They did exactly. Three years later, and it's everybody is doing exactly no growth, no change, no evolution. Howdy all to you too, to Rose Apprentice. What am I looking at? Yeah, I remember. Yeah, Tammy, they didn't change. Nothing changed. Even to, they did exactly, they went to the exact same depositions. They did exactly what they knew they were going to do, what the feds knew they were going to do. And they waited patiently until Trump was about to leave. And then they rolled out the depositions and everything else. So, Hope Hicks. She's given a great offer. Ace of Cups, Magician card comes in for her, and Two of Cups. I can get StreamYard. Is it an app? I can download it. She's going to be okay. I don't know if she agreed to something or she handed over tapes or whatever, but she's a star witness going forward. And you can see she makes a deal. Two of Cups comes in. God, they're all making deals. They're all doing confessions. You know what? I want to check out Don Jr. because remember, he's another one. Don Jr. Oh, thank you, D Rose. I love my coffee. I do love my coffee. You know, it's interesting. It really is the time of the woman. It's interesting that so many people got hired by Biden that are women. Three of Cups moving in. But also look at this nice Hierophant moving in star card for us. It's interesting looking at Hope Hicks, Don Jr., and everyone else. It's almost like they were holding things. They didn't charge them. But they have I mean, this is almost like they have really strong cases. Yeah, Page of Swords is moving in. They're screwed. Don Jr.'s in serious trouble. Look at this. He's got a tower coming in. Star. He's going to be deposed again. Here comes the law, and then Page of Swords, truth. You have to speak truth. Celebration. He's in trouble. He's in trouble for something different. Something's about to leak that Don Jr. did that may be an illegal activity, and it involves the Republican Party. It involves the specifically. It's and we should probably document this. God, I gotta get some more. I gotta get some more of these. I'm just getting a remote on this. It looks like Don Jr. is in trouble over some activity that involves the Republican National Convention or something like that. What did they do in the National? Was he a member of the Republican National Convention? I know he spoke. What did he do? There's some kind of illegal activity or something of that's questionable regarding the campaign that's got him in trouble again. So this is something. This is a separate accusation. It's like they're derelicts. It's always something. He's always getting in trouble for something. They're always getting in trouble for something. That was what it said for Trump when we followed the energy on Trump, was that he would be convicted of tax fraud. You know, the fact that they have been auditing him for how long, and he, 5 years, if they're going to get him on tax fraud, doesn't surprise me. I'm trying to keep a hold of this. Moscow Mitch. That's stuck, Moscow Mitch. Oh, he's crying. He's very upset. Oh, he did cry a couple days ago. What was this about? Lamar Alexandra leaving or something, and he cried? Yeah. Because they weren't voting for him, they were voting for the Republican Party. That's what they'll tell you. They're voting for their party. Yeah, Joe Scarborough. It really stuck. I don't get, he's not emotionally stable. That's the crying, exhausted, temperamental. This is someone who's temperamental. He's going to try and release money soon. You can see Six of Pentacles. People were asking about that. Somebody's coming that Moscow Mitch is afraid of. A dark-haired woman. This is Kamala Harris. He's not happy. He's being yelled at and screamed at and being blamed, and that's part of why he's crying and he's upset in the remote. A lot of people are blaming him for this. He feels like he only has a little bit of time to get things done. It's all about the courts, right? He's finishing his deal with the devil. He's crying like he can't get out of this or that he's stuck. There's a devil card there. I don't know what the heck this is about, but he's not well, that's for sure. I don't even know why he's still in the Senate. Look at what he's coming out of. You know, nobody had good cards tonight. Nobody. Did anybody have good cards tonight? I don't think so. They all looked horrible. Oh, I'm starting to crash. I've been on for almost 2 hours. Oh, I didn't look at that. I'll do Rudy Giuliani. No, it didn't look like he was under investigation. It looked like he was crying because he was between a rock and a hard place and he didn't know what to do. And you know, he has to cut the guy off. He has to be the one to. He and Lindsey Graham need to take their starting positions. We've been talking about it for 3 years. Lindsey Graham needs to go tell him it's over. Mr. President, we'll give you. We can try and get you to resign early. We can organize something for you, but you got to go. You can't stay, Mr. President. Remember the remote? We're there. We're there now. So in terms of Mitch McConnell, I think, you know, so many of the Trump loyalists, I think they're scared of him. You know? Let's look at Giuliani. So weird. Don't you think this whole thing is crazy that we're living through this, that we're actually living through a pandemic and a mentally crazy guy in the White House? I don't know why I'm doing that. I'm doing 3-card Monty. This is Giuliani. Then I think we're going to be done. I'm starting to crash. God, he just sounds so crazy now, Giuliani. Oh, this was going to be, I wasn't going to do a group reading. This was going to be it, Michelle. I can't remember where I was. See, I'm so tired. I think Giuliani is really out of it. There's something about some information coming up about Giuliani regarding money or a receiving of money, and something about the chariot coming in or having to move. He's not a silly little guy you can laugh off and dismiss. Actually, there's some stuff going on. I have a pretty good idea that they're probably going to go in. I think they have search warrants. They're going to go into his offices. Constructing or defending his space. Something about the authorities coming in. It's very likely that, Giuliani's acting all silly and goofy, but there are things going on with him that are actually quite serious that probably are going to result in a federal probe and possibly a search warrant. Yeah. There's a new phase starting in spring, and it involves Giuliani and associates. That whole trial thing starts in the spring, according to this. Had to do with laundering money and illegal activities with foreign business people. Here it is. Here's the money deal that they were constructing. He was helping to create shady business deals, and he was protecting them through his law firm partnerships with money. That's what he did. He was a naughty, naughty boy. Well, did everybody have a rollicking good time? Should Whimsy go have a snacky poo now? Should go have a snack. I am tired. It's 11:30. I got up at like 6. My cat. Well, I couldn't fall asleep. She woke me up at 6. I was putzing around the house early today. He does. He's going to have his temper tantrum. That's why we always say, make sure you got your 4 walls, your rent, your food, your housing. Hunker down. Don't go out. Be about your business. Don't pick fights. Stay cool. Just try and survive until this lunatic gets out of there. I think it's going to be hummus and pita chips. All right. Love and light, everyone. And I'll see you Sunday for brunch, I think. Right? All right. Take care, everyone. Night. Sweet dreams, everybody. Thanks for coming along.